we'll start here. Come to a nice, comfortable seat and turn your palms to face down on your thighs. Your thumbs and index fingers will come to touch. So this hand gesture or mudra in traditional yoga is really grounding. So it pulls all the busy and chaotic aspects of life out and pulls calming, grounding energy in. Simply sitting with your spine nice and tall, with your eyes closed. Can you take a long, deep breath in through your nose and just notice how it feels to breathe in? Then open your mouth wide, exhale out through your mouth, and notice how it feels to breathe out. When you do that again, inhaling, can you now notice how your stomach pushes forward on the inhale? And as you exhale, notice how it retracts or caves in as you exhale. Aligning and noticing the relationship between your body and your breath. And then I'd like you to just keep breathing in and out through your nostrils now. So a little known fact is that in your nostrils you have tiny, tiny nose hairs that serve as these little air purifiers for the breath that we take in. And some of the old traditional yogis used to sleep with tape over their mouth to prevent cleaned particles getting in through their nostrils. We'll give you lots of little tidbits like that throughout class. So you're just breathing in and out through your nose. Feeling the body move in response to your breath. Noticing how it feels to breathe in and breathe out. And then expanding your awareness to notice even how your physical body is doing. And this might mean you're catching yourself if your shoulders are shrugged up, if one knee sits higher than the other, if you're slouched forward. Can you try to move your body and shift your body now into a shape of equilibrium so you feel balanced on your seat? Good. Take 3 more breaths here, in and out through your nose. Keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands together at your heart center. And take a moment to set an intention for your yoga practice. So what would you like to feel, experience, maybe let go of through this movement and mindfulness practice? Now take a long, deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and sigh out through your mouth. Blink open your eyes. Take your hands alongside your body, and with an inhale, can you pick both arms up? Stretch your arms, stretch your hands, spread your fingers wide, and touch all 10 fingers together up overhead. When they meet, exhale and lower your hands down to your heart center. Again, inhale, scoop your arms wide, spread your fingers wide, and maybe without looking, could you try to touch all 10 fingers together before you lower your hands down to your heart? One more time, inhale, picking your arms all the way up overhead, piercing all 10 fingers together. Feel the sensation of your skin on the opposite hand, and lower your hands back down to your heart. Take your hands right down towards your lap or the floor, and now shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and loop them down your back. A typical shoulder roll 3 times in each direction. This can feel so good at any point point in your day. If you're doing a lot of static shapes in your day, either you're sitting all day or standing all day, trying to integrate these little movements throughout can be a real game changer for your well-being. Let's turn those shoulders around, rolling them in the opposite direction. If you find a sweet spot, you might just linger there for a moment. Perfect. Let your shoulders relax. Pick up your hands and place your hands onto your shoulders. Place your hands onto your shoulders. And now can you draw your elbows in front of you towards one another? They might not make it. And then take the biggest circles you can take with your elbows. So you're still working your rotator cuff all around that shoulder joint, but it's a different way of moving. There you go. And then turn it around in the opposite direction. Big, big circles here. Wonderful. And now take your hands forward. Reach your hands forward and take your palms to face down. So your palms are facing the floor. Plug your shoulder blades back. Pull your belly button in. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, can you drop your fingers down? So now your fingers point towards the floor and make fists with your hands. Good, make fists with your hands. And then rock those fists from side to side. This is begging dog. So for the typists in the room, in the Zoom room, which I think is basically everybody nowadays with cell phones, this is really, really great for your wrist health. And now lift those palms up, bend into your elbows, and can you flick your fingers? Flick your fingers like you're shooing something for someone away. This is a great rehab exercise for anyone with arthritis, carpal tunnel syndrome. We're going to keep flicking for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just shake out your hands completely. And shake out your hands completely. Good. And now place your right hand down onto the floor. Both sit bones are really rooted. Inhale, sweep your left arm up, look up. And as you exhale, turn your gaze down and reach that top arm as far as you can, starting to breathe into your left side body. And as you take those breaths, can you try to pierce your skin with your side ribs so you can feel those rib bones pushing towards that surface of skin layer. Pick your arms up, both arms come back up, and tilt over to the other side. Reach those top fingers away while still grounding through both sit bones. And again, take a bit more of a bigger breath so you can feel the stretch just by focusing or driving more awareness to your breath. Pick both arms up again, and now leave both arms up overhead. And if your shoulders tighten up towards your ears, let them soften for a moment. Good. Let's inhale together, lift our gaze skyward. And as we exhale, rotate towards the right, take your right hand back behind you and cross your left hand over your right thigh. Now push through your sit bones. Inhale, reach the crown of your head up. Exhale, turn your gaze back behind you. Seated spinal twist. One more breath in and out. On the next inhale, come back through center. Lift those arms triumphantly towards the ceiling and rotate to the other side. 2 full breaths here, remembering that you can root down through your tailbone, through your sits bones, and reach up through the crown of your head at the same time to deepen that twist, to create more space for rotation. Pull your body back through center, take your arms up again. And now bring your palms down onto your thighs, and we'll do one more movement from seated. It feels like you're stirring a great big pop with your torso. Can you place your hands on your thighs, lean back into a rounded spine, and then lean forward through this circular motion with your body. You might find your head wants to move a little more dynamically or intuitively with this. Go right ahead. Switch directions. Switch directions, rotating around the other way. Bring it all back through center and sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes, take a breath in and take a breath out. Good. Blink open your eyes. That could be a yoga practice. I'm not asking you to leave, but I'm saying that if you only have 5 or 10 minutes in your workday to do movement, that's a great little sequence for working bodies. From here, come down onto all fours, and if you have sensitive knees, I do, you can prop a blanket, a blanket or a bolster underneath your knees. And now stack your joints. That means your shoulders are above your wrists and your hips are above your knees. And try to prevent a dumping in your lumbar spine. So you're pushing your tailbone down and activating ever so slightly through your core. That's your quadruped position. We'll come back here a few times. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take a deep breath in, and now you can dump into your belly. Loop your shoulder blades back. Smile across your collarbones and lift your gaze up. This is called cow pose. On the exhale, can you plug your belly button into your spine, round into your upper back, and look right down to your navel? Inhale, drop your belly, loop your shoulders back, lift your heart, your chest, and even your gaze. Exhale into a great big rounded back body. Try that 3 more times at your own pace. And here's the thing about yoga. You'll get instructions and teachings from people like myself, from your teachers, online or in real life. But your body is, in fact, your greatest teacher. It knows you better than anybody ever will. And so if you catch yourself moving through a shape and it feels really good, by all means, just hang out there. If it feels terrible, painful, disruptive to your nervous system, back out of that shape. So you're listening to your body before your teacher, always, always, always. Let's retreat back to a neutral spine. Ground down through your right hand and your left leg and extend your right leg back behind you. Notice how my hip wants to pop up. Try to level out your hips and then engage through your core before you extend your left arm out in front of you. Option 1 is to pause here and work on balance and stability with just those 2 rooted points, your hand and your foot. Option 2, maybe for the more avid yogis in the room, you can begin to compress. So pull your knee into your elbow right beneath your tummy and then extend on the exhale. So you're inhaling to curl in, exhaling to expand outward. One more time if you're practicing this movement. Good, good, good. And everyone can release that hand and knee to the floor right away, picking up the opposite limbs, stabilizing, steadying, and deciding, will you stay here, or maybe you'll integrate those 3 little compression and extension movements, fluidly rocking your body in and out, trying to meet some core strength with balance and stability. After 3 repetitions, round your palms and could everyone take their knees wide, big toes to touch, and melt your body down onto the earth. This is called child's pose. You can absolutely bend at your elbows if it's too much for your shoulder joints. Take a big breath in here. Exhale, relax through your torso. And on your next inhale, begin to walk both hands over towards the right. Walk both hands over towards the right. Keep your hips where they are. And come up onto the tips of your fingers to push the earth away. And then, without really moving your body, can you start to pull the earth towards you? Observing how that pushing and pulling, this really subtle action through just your fingers and arms, can change what you feel all the way down towards your feet. When you had enough on that side, crawl your body over to the other side and play again with the imprinting of your fingers, the pushing, the pulling, finding how even the most mundane seeming movements can do so much magic underneath your skin. Brilliant. Pull back through center. Walk your hands into your body. Walk your hands into your body and sit back onto your heels. Sit back onto your heels. This might be enough. So we're now stretching the fronts of your ankle joints. And if you have knee issues, you can stay here. You might even opt to lean forward or pop out of the shape. Otherwise, you could walk your hands back behind you. Push those fingertips into the floor, lift your chest and look up. And to activate then through your quads, the fronts of your thighs, you might draw your tailbone down, so you're lengthening through your lower back, and feel that work in your quads, or even come lower. So some students could come down to their elbows, or their spine meets the floor. Find a place that serves your body and your purpose in this practice, and breathe for 5 breaths. Your gaze can be up or down. Good. Walk your hands forward. Walk your hands forward. Flex your feet now. So you put a little bit of work on the ankle joint. This is the opposing action that will ease any tension there. And now pull your belly button into your spine, puff between your shoulder blades and look forward. Push the floor away, like you're trying to put your handprint right through the floor underneath of you before you lift your hips high into your first downward dog shape. And when you get there with a lot of curiosity, so bending into one knee and then the next, maybe lifting and then lowering your heels. Your heels never need to come to the floor. They can stay high and drop low wherever it feels good in your hamstrings and on either side of your spinal column. So that's our target in downward dog, a big hamstring stretch. We all need that. Let your head dump towards the earth, pull your upper arms back, push your chest towards the floor. Could everyone take a big breath in through the nostrils and then open your mouth wide, stick out your tongue. Lion's breath, go ha. Do that again. Inhale through your nose. Open your mouth wide, stick out your tongue. Ha, lion's breath. Look forward and start to tiptoe your feet all the way to your hands, all the way to your hands, and then straight to the top of your mat if you're not there already. Separate your feet as wide as your body needs. Let your head hang heavy and catch opposite elbows with your hands. Maybe you're still, but you could also choose to wave and weave your body side to side. Shake your head yes or no. Beginning to shift the flow of blood through your body. This is your first inversion. A lot of the same benefits of headstands or handstands happen right here. Bend into your knees so your tummy is touching your thighs, or at least getting there, and then climb up your body really slow until you come straight up to stand. Good. Turn your palms to face forward when you arrive in standing. Set your feet hip distance and parallel. Pull your pubic bone up so you're not finding that big dump or rounded shape in your spine. So you're starting to notice if you have that kyphosis of the spine or if you have a big arch in your lower back. Can you find equilibrium just standing here? Let's breathe together. Inhale through your nose, feel your belly expand. Exhale through your nose, feel your belly retreat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. and exhale. Good. Take your hands to your heart center. Remember the intention that you launched your practice with. Remember your intention. Take a breath in, sweep both arms up overhead, and as you exhale, bring your hands just to your heart. Just to your heart. Good. Do that 2 more times, just like we did from seated. Inhale, stretch your arms high, and exhale, lower them to heart center. Last time, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And this time, as you exhale, can you bend into your knees and let your whole body fold down into itself, bringing your fingers to the floor. Now move your hands to your shins. Inhale, lift your heart up halfway. And on the exhale, plant your palms down onto your mat, hip distance apart, and reach both feet back into a high plank, or maybe a low plank with your knees on the floor, whatever works best. And breathe here, starting to activate or stir or stoke that fire of your core for 3. Puff between your shoulder blades, 2. Engage your glutes, and 1. Now could you bend into your elbows and slowly, slowly lower right down to your tummy. Turn onto the tops of your feet, step your fingers back, loop your shoulders back. Inhale, lift your chest up for baby cobra or spinal extension. Exhale, lower back down. Flex your feet so you're pressing into the balls of your feet like you could put little toe prints on your mat. Engage your core, press into your hands and your knees and lift up just to that low plank shape. And then scoop your belly up, reach your hips high, find downward facing dog. Or child's pose if you need a rest. Breathing there or here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Please bend into your knees, look forward, slide your body forward to the top of your mat. Lift your hands to your shins, your spine to tabletop, and release back down to the earth. Root into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Pause here. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. From here, keep your feet hip distance and parallel. Take your right hand down the side of your body. Take the right hand down the side of your body. And like your hand is glued to your thigh and you're reaching down to catch the pinky toe side of your foot, can you begin to lean down? Meanwhile, the opposite hand can stay on your hip, but it might even reach up and over. And if that strains your back, engage the core and notice how that strain disappears almost instantly. Pull your kneecaps up so your quads are active. Breathe in, look down as you breathe out. Good. Slide your body back up on an inhale. The opposite hand goes down the side of your leg, and you're just reaching towards that pinky edge side of your foot. The opposite arm can come up and over. Maybe it even comes to the back of your head. And if you take that variation, you could push the back of your head into your hand. Sliding into this stretch, pubic bone dips forward. Good. Pull it back through center. Take your hands now and interlace your hands behind your back. Interlace your hands behind your back. And if they can't quite connect behind your back, you could use something. You could even just catch the back of your shirt. Plug your shoulder blades together. Push your hands down. Belly button lifts up, but so does your gaze. Inhale here. Exhale, bend into your knees, hinge forward. Option A, your hands stay glued to your lower back. Option B, your arms can reach up and overhead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Everybody pull your hands back to your lower back and then let them flop down to the earth. Loop your shoulders back. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step into your plank, high plank or low plank. Inhale, exhale, that's 1. Inhale, exhale for 2. Breathe in, and on this exhale, bend your elbows lower right down to your tummy. Let's do the exact same arm action, but on our belly. So interlace your hands behind your back, or maybe catch your shirt. Zip your shoulder blades in, extend through both legs. This time, can you pick your big toes up together? Bring your big toes together and then pick up those legs. Keep engaging through your core, drawing your glutes in, so your bum cheeks are hugging in, and then lift up your chest, but look down. Breathing here for 5. Your whole body is active. 3, muscles are hugging into their bones. And 1, lower down, take your left cheek on the floor, relax your body. Release your hands, and if you'd like, you could bend your knees and just nonchalantly flap them from side to side. So already that's a lot of back bending. If your spine's begging for a break, hang out here, just lying on your tummy. Create spinal extension, and that might be enough for you. Alternatively, bring your forehead back down to the mat and bend into your knees. Pick up your right arm, reach back, and see if you can catch that right ankle or outside edge of your foot. Pick up your left arm, see if you can catch the left ankle or the outside edge of your foot. Zip your belly button in, breathe in, and rise up into upward bow pose. You can play with extending or flexing your feet, noting how that changes what you feel in your quads. And remember, this is a back bend and a heart opener. So you're really, really lifting through the front body. Now kick your feet away and pull them towards you at the same time. See how that changes your experience. 1 more breath in. And with an exhale, we'll come back down to our tummy, this time letting our right cheek melt onto the floor. And the body releases flat. Breathe here. Take your hands beside your chest. Lift yourself up and back into child's pose. Into child's pose. Arms are extended, lengthening out through the spine. And in child's pose, can you turn your palms to face one another and then walk them to collide? So it's like you're in the inside edge of a clap. With your palms together, thumbs facing up, can you now bend into your elbows so your fingers are facing up towards the ceiling, and then walk your elbows just a titch forward. Now you might stay here, or you can start to draw your thumbs down towards the nape of your neck. Breathe into your upper back and your shoulders, and breathe out. Breathe into your upper back and your shoulders. Good, and breathe out. Unwind that. Take your palms back down to plain vanilla child's pose, and lift your spine back up so you're sitting back on your heels again. So you're sitting back on your heels just as we did before. And this time, could you turn your knees in towards one another? And this is where a block can become really, really useful. A huge stretch is happening along the tops of your ankles, and to ease some of that intensity on the ankle and knee joints, a block right beneath your bum can help. So your knees are coming in, your femur bones are internally rotated, and can you walk your hands back behind you by any amount? Fingers are facing your body. Now pick up your bum just a titch, draw your pubic bone up, and settle your bum back down. Just a titch, my 4-year-old's been saying that all the time, and I realize I'm picking it up, so I apologize. Stay here, or with or without your block, you might come a little bit further. And all of this work that we've been doing in today's class is designed really to open through the heart center. In energy studies, when you do back bending, even in traditional yoga studies, back bending can really help with confidence, with stimulating joy, compassion, positivity, everything we need mid-pandemic, mid-January. Take one more breath in. Good, exhale, go slow. Walk your hands back in towards your body and walk them right past your knees all the way forward. Then extend one leg out and give yourself a minute here to just rock. So I've got the ball of my right foot on the floor and I'm pulsing or pumping my right heel back and forth, easing out any tension in my calf. Let's try that on the other side. Good, you're just extending through your left leg and then bouncing back and forth. If you ever get leg cramps, this little move is your go-to. Perfect, and let's find our way back up into downward facing dog. Move around for a moment here. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Now can you reach your right leg high towards the sky? Either stay there or bend your right knee and draw your right heel towards your hip. Peer under your right armpit. Rotate back through neutral so your hips become level. Look forward. Go ahead and step your right foot between your hands. Lower your left knee down onto the floor. Turn the top of your left foot onto the floor. Inhale, lift your gaze up. And as you exhale, round into your back. Lean your hips back and straighten that right leg, lifting your toes high. Walk your hands midway down your mat and fold over your thigh. Feel that deep hamstring work. Let's pulse in and out of this shape a few times. Walk your hands forward, bend into that right knee. Lift your gaze up, so you're creating extension in your spine. And as you exhale, rock your hips back. Walk your hands midway down your mat. Lift up those toes and lean over your right body. One more time. Moving your body through a deep low lunge, stretching out your groin, your quad, and your hamstring as you come down into that extended leg. Perfect. Lean forward again. So bend into that right knee. Scissor your inner thighs together. And now could you pick your hands up? You might need to climb up that right leg. Pick your hands up. Activate the muscles of your legs and stretch your arms up overhead. Take a breath in here. With the exhale, bend into both elbows, making them into a goalpost shape. Inhale, try to tap all 10 fingers together like we did in the beginning without looking. Exhale, bend into your elbows. Really good. One more time. Connect all 10 fingers. Feel the sensation of the skin on the opposite hand. And bend into your elbows. And now lean forward. Place your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Left hand to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe of your right foot out towards the right. Find that opening and then press your right hand into your right thigh and roll your right ribs up. Look up. You could stay here, or perhaps you reach your right hand to the ceiling. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale, walk both hands back down onto the mat. Sink your hips back towards your heels to drag that right leg back and then pulse your body up into a downward dog. And when you get there, you're playing and moving, maybe even running through a vinyasa. And a vinyasa translates to transition. That means you come forward into a high plank, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale into what we call upward dog, and exhale into downward dog. In downward dog, can everybody pull a big breath in through the nose? Open your mouth wide and exhale. Really good. Now, if you have a prop, a blanket under your knees, move it over to support the right knee in a moment. Take your left leg skyward, leave it there, or bend into that knee, opening through the front of your hip, peering under your armpit. Before you cautiously, slowly step your left foot all the way forward. Drop your right knee down and try to drag the weight off the top of that patella. Good. Inhale, lift your gaze up. There's a little bit of extension in your lower back. And with your exhale, hinge your hips back towards your heels. Pick up your toes, drive them towards your hip, and lean forward. Walking your body back and forth through this quad, hamstring, and groin stretch 3 times, please, at your own pace. Perfect. The next time you come forward, steady here by activating the muscles of your legs. Root down through your right palm. You might open your left foot out a little wider. Take your left hand onto your left thigh. Roll your left ribs up and look up. Inhale. On the exhale, you'll decide whether your left hand stays put or if it stretches up for the stars. Take a breath in there. Really, really good. Exhale, drop your left hand back down onto the earth. Lean your hips back towards your heel, drag that left leg back, move any props out to the side, and come up into downward dog. Let's flow together here. Inhale, ripple your body forward until your shoulders are above your wrists. Exhale, lower just halfway, and when you get there, turn onto the tops of your feet, loop your shoulders back, and lift your chest up. On the exhale, with a strong core, push your body up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale here, and exhale. Look forward, step your right foot between your hands. This time, keep your left leg lifted and pull your whole body up into a high lunge with both arms extended overhead. Right away, turn your left toes to face the left long edge of your yoga mat. Open both arms wide. Bend deep into a 90-degree angle for your right knee and look over your right fingers. Now turn your right palm to face up. Drop your left hand down your back thigh and reach your right arm behind you. Inhale here, stretch those fingers even further away. Exhale, place your right elbow onto your right thigh. Scoop your belly up, engage your left glute by pushing through the outer edge of your left foot, and stretch your left arm alongside your left ear. Take a big breath in. Exhale here, bend deeper into your right knee. And now stabilize through your feet. Lift both arms back up to warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Turn your right palm to face up. And like you're a teapot and you're pouring a delicious cup of tea, lean forward. The right fingertips reach down to the floor, resting against your shin as your left arm stretches high. If it feels okay for your neck, look towards that left hand and set your left thumb directly above your nostrils. Inhale here. Exhale. Now push into your feet, lift all the way back up. Bend into your right knee, and could you cartwheel both hands to frame your right foot? Lean forward, lift up your left leg, walk your fingers forward beneath your shoulders, listen carefully. Keep your right hand towards the upper right corner of your yoga mat and open your left hip towards the left. Good. Now maybe your left fingers come off the floor and stretch up towards the ceiling. Flex your left foot. Perhaps you even turn your gaze forward or up. Half moon pose for the active yogis in the group. You could dive a little deeper, bend into your left knee. You've done so much back bending and quad work. Perhaps catch your left foot in your left hand. Kick the foot away. Take a big breath in. Exhale, rewind. Place both palms on the floor. Step back to plank pose. My friends, you can come to child's pose, or if the energy is really, really high for you, bend into your elbows, roll your body through a vinyasa. Take it back, downward facing dog. A big breath comes in. Exhale, you are in the final stretch. Slide your left foot forward, plant it between your hands, scissor your thighs together, reach both arms up, and then open into warrior two on the other side. Good, let's take a moment here to recalibrate. Take a big breath in, and a big breath out. Your back hand falls down your back thigh. The top arm reaches beyond your head, so back behind you. And then lean forward, bend into that front knee, take your elbow to your thigh and stretch the opposite arm up alongside your ear. Pause here in extended side angle pose, rooting down through the soles of both feet. Good, breathe in. Breathe out, sink a little deeper into your front knee. And then inhale, lift all the way up, straighten your front leg, reach your fingers forward, feel that big pull through your inner groin as you fall down into triangle pose, Trikonasana. A few moments to breathe here. Now you know where we're headed, to our peak pose. Push into your feet, lift all the way back up. Look forward, bend into that front knee, and take your hands to the floor, framing your left foot with your hands. Pick up your right foot, walk your fingers beneath your shoulders, stabilize that left palm on the floor or on a block as you open your right hip out towards the right. Take your right arm towards the sky, find a solid, steady point to set your gaze on. Breathe in here, and breathe out. Maybe you're really playing with balance by bending into that top leg, reaching your right hand back and catching the foot with your hand, piercing and plugging your right shoulder blade back as you work that quad one final time. Slowly unwind, unravel, step back. Last chance for a flow from downward dog. Inhale to a high plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right leg, reach your right leg high, bend into your right knee, and could you drop your right knee behind your right wrist? Extend your left leg back. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, fold to the mat. Pigeon pose. And for those of you whose joints won't let you go there, the same work on your psoas and outer hip can happen here in thread the needle. So choose your own adventure here for your hip stretch. 5 breaths. If you're on your back, you can simply switch sides. My friends, down in pigeon, you'll float that leg up into a down dog. Take any little movements that feel good, and then ripple forward for pigeon pose on the left side this time. Either stay upright or melt down to the floor. 5 long, soothing breaths. Good. If you're down in pigeon, this time just press your hands into the floor, lean your weight onto your left hip, and bring that right leg all the way forward. Those of you on your back, find your way up to seated. And we'll close with a few forward folds after a long round of back bending. And take your feet in extension out in front. You might bend into your knees, that's okay. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, catch the outside edges of your feet. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, fold. Breathe here. Good. Inhale, lift the body back up, arms included. And with the exhale, slide your soles of your feet together. Catch your ankles with your hands, lengthen through your spine. Inhale. Exhale, push the soles of your feet together as you hinge forward, perhaps walking your hands forward as well. Breathe here. Tiptoe your fingers back in towards your body until your spine is long, and then place your hands behind you. Scoot your bum forward and lie all the way down onto your yoga mat. As soon as you get there, give yourself a great big hug. Rock your knees side to side. Massage out your lower back. Maybe close your eyes. Now place the soles of your feet down on the floor. Spread your toes wide. Find that muscular action through your quads one final time and pick up your hips. You could take a restorative bridge pose if you have a block. Just tuck it right under your sacrum. That's the bone at the base of your spine. Or you take a more active bridge pose by interlacing your hands beneath your back. Breathing here. Of course, if full wheel is in your practice, you can move your body up. You've done lots of prep in the quads and the spine to take you there. One more big breath in. And exhale, lower your bum down onto the floor. Give your knees a great big hug. Rock side to side again. And just slide both knees over towards the right as you open your arms wide. Peer over your left fingers and take a nice deep spinal twist. Really good. Lift your legs back through center. Scoot your hips out in the opposite direction. Twisting towards the left now. Drifting your gaze over to the right. You've made it to the dessert of yoga, final shavasana. Come back through center. If there's anything else your body moves, movements, adjustments, socks, sweaters, set yourself up now. And when you're ready, please lie flat on your back, turn your palms to face up, and bring your thumbs and index fingers to touch. Move your attention back into your breath, back into the way your breath moves your belly. And then let all of that awareness slip away, all of that doing slip away. And for the next few minutes, can you stay with me? Resist the temptation to run off. Your practice is not quite done. Because for the next few minutes, you get to absorb all of the work, all of the magic of movement. Close your eyes and enjoy. Take 5 more breaths here. Notice how you feel. Know that you can come back here anytime and then start to move your fingers and your toes. Maybe take a big yawn, rock your head left to right. And as you inhale, reach your arms all the way up overhead, stretch your toes long, like you're just waking up for the first time today. Relax down and roll over onto the right side of your body. Push your hands into the floor, curl your body all the way up to a cross-legged seat. Take your hands together at your heart, bow your head into your hands, thank yourself for your practice. Remember your intention and set yourself some homework that relates to that intention. So if your intention was to feel strong, maybe your homework is to try another yoga practice later this week or next week. Take a big breath in through your nose. And the last exhale. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.